know what you're going to run into on baseball. You know how they always say you're going to see stuff you've never seen before? Well, I saw something here in Cleveland that I've definitely never seen before. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. Happy Labor Day. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, and this is Daily Shot of Pirates. Comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Guardians 6, Pirates 1. Mitch Keller wasn't so sharp. Didn't matter. Offense only managed 2 singles. A journeyman right off the IL, Alex Cobb, had a perfect game through 6 innings for Cleveland. And yet, it wasn't even close to what I'd end up focusing on for the day, because something had been driving me nuts here the whole weekend, and I finally decided to try to quantify it as much as possible. And it was this. When I went into the clubhouse Friday for the series opener, I noticed that I was having an especially hard time finding whoever I'd need to talk to. Not that I matter, I don't. It then occurred to me that the reason that I was having a hard time was that it felt like half of the locker stalls inside the visiting clubhouse in the player area belonged to non-players, and not even coaches. Non-players, non-coaches. Just all this excess staff that Ben Cherington keeps piling on. 18 of them in all. I counted them after the game yesterday. Went literally around the clubhouse and counted them. It was 18, and they were interspersed throughout. So it's not like they were even all placed in one section. They were just put up there as if they're regular old players. Nameplates and everything. Like you couldn't tell the difference from the mental coordinator and Andrew McCutcheon. Now, if you've ever partaken in organized sports, but especially at any scholastic, collegiate, or especially professional level, you will know without my telling you that this is not okay. This is not how these things work. The locker room is the domain of the players. There are other rooms for the manager, for the head coach, for the assistants, for the coordinators, and so forth. These people who were in the players' clubhouse are neither of those things. They're basically just a bunch of Cherington staffers who've been hired by this GM to try to build some sort of edge. That's what a team official relayed to me last night. Some sort of competitive edge over the rest of Major League Baseball. Now, I wanted to see if this was some common thing. Maybe I missed out on some new fad or wave or whatever, and I contacted a couple other people who've been covering baseball for a long time. And what I was told was that the Dodgers have a somewhat larger entourage, not larger than the Pirates, but larger than the norm, but nowhere near what the Pirates have. And I was told by one writer that the team that this writer covers doesn't do anything of the kind and would never put non-players in the players' clubhouse. Now, they don't do this at PNC Park because they built a whole nother room for all these people. They can't obviously do that on the road, but then don't take them. You don't prioritize the process above everything the way Cherington and Derek Shelton have done from day one. Just once, just in one circumstance, it'd be wonderful if they'd prioritize the end over the means. But they don't do that. They're all about the means. They're all about the incessant build. And as a result, to them, all of this is fine. Everything that you're seeing, losing 21 out of 29 games, getting blown out in most games lately, being 11 games out of a race that they somehow were in just a month ago. All of this gets no reaction from them, not in any discernible way. But as soon as something threatens the process, they get really, really defensive about it. This carrying all these people around from city to city and then shoving them into the players' area where the players are supposed to be, developing trust, communicating, holding each other accountable, all that sportsy stuff. I gotta tell you, that's not something I had on my bingo card for the weekend. It's not a wholly new development, but the rise in the number of people is very recent. And just for further context, let me share that in a lifetime of covering the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's never been a single stall that I've seen that's been committed to someone other than a player. Cam Hayward, in particular, wouldn't have it any other way. In covering the Pittsburgh Penguins, I have never once seen a stall in the players' area committed to anyone other than a player. Sidney Patrick Crosby wouldn't have it any other way. And this applies not only to their game venues, meaning Acrisure Stadium and PPG Paints Arena, but also to their practice facilities. You just don't do this. But these guys would. Because something process, something keeping this or that going and showing everybody how smart we are or whatever, as opposed to, doing whatever's best for the 26 or now 28, because of the September expansion, players who are trying to win a game once in a while. Unbelievable, even by their standards. When we come back, J1Q. This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern. That's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Eli, who asks, DK, why does Mitch Keller, owner of a top 3 sweeper in Major League Baseball, continue to throw a cutter which continues to get hit over the wall? Is it not the most obvious bad pitch we've seen in recent memory? Eli, it hasn't been great for Mitch, obviously, and it hasn't been great, really, with any of his main pitches of late. He just hasn't done well of late. But I always feel like Mitch is a little bit of a simpler case than we like to make him out to be. When you see Mitch hitting 96, sitting 96 with his four-seamer, Mitch is going to be fine. This version of Mitch, meaning the one that we've gotten used to in general over the past couple of years, he's going to be fine. Because he'll be able to use the other stuff appropriately, and he'll be able to get swings and misses other ways, which will lead to swings and misses on the sweepers, the cutters, and everything else. What concerns me, and not in any dire way, but what concerns me is that he's sitting 93 and in that range, and he's there pretty much from beginning to end in his recent starts. So I had a feeling yesterday in the press box pretty much right away that this was going to be a challenge for him. And it was. Cleveland's got some outstanding ball players, including hitters, mashers. But he still wasn't at his best. So I asked him, because this is someone who got who got you 200 strikeouts last year, who got you a full season, 30-plus starts. Now he's trending toward doing that again. And that's not easy. And to his credit, listen how candid he was on this subject when I asked afterward, plain and simple, if he might be getting tired.
You threw a lot of innings between last year and this year and everything. You still feeling good? Are you still feeling strong?
Yeah. I mean, I think that just comes with the challenge of throwing a full major league season and then doing it again. It's it's tough. I mean, it's hard. It's why it's the hardest league to pitch in. So just managing that and trying to do the best as I can. I mean, but it does wear on you. And but I feel good right now. I actually felt really good today. Just that's kind of what makes this more disappointing than anything. Is like you want to capture those good feeling days and use those to your advantage. But didn't happen today.
One of the many great things about Mitch, straight shooter. He wants to take the ball. He wants to be out there every fifth or sixth day. He wants to make it through another full season. I've got nothing but good things to say about a pitcher like that. And to try to answer what you actually asked, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine in the long term. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody who listens to Daily Shot of Pirates. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow.